So, Mr. Finn, tell me what's on your mind.
A lot of things, Doc. With school, work, and a YouTube account, I've come across a lot of different people over the years. And I've unfortunately noticed this growing trend of shutting others out. I mean, I can tell that these people could definitely benefit from a little bit of help, but no matter who tries to help or in what way, they just close themselves off, sending away people that can make them feel so much better. It really worries me if I'm completely honest.
Ah, yes. I'm sure that most everyone has had to deal with despair at some point in their lives. Moments where all hope seems to have faded away. Naturally, we would want to help others in their times of grief and affliction, and more often than not, showing sympathy and a kind hand does make a difference. However, there are circumstances where even our best efforts seem to have little, if any, effect. And much of that comes down to whether that particular person has a desire to be helped. They have to want to change. They have to find their own hope. No amount of empathy is going to help anyone if they don't want to be helped.
That's what I'm worried about. These people have no want. They lock themselves in their metaphorical rooms and just shut potential help out. They're just not open to others, and that's extremely dangerous in my opinion. I'll be honest, I'm no stranger to shutting others out either. I mean, after my father passed away, I was heartbroken. I didn't want to speak with anyone. I didn't want to go anywhere. I honestly just wanted to be alone. And I had no friends to try and comfort me in real life or otherwise. Yet I kept going. I guess I just feel that that's not what my father would have wanted. He was always the firm hand in my family and was always telling me to be strong, so I guess that's why in my life I keep going. To be strong for him.
An excellent sentiment, Finn.
Indeed. Now all I have is my mother. And honestly, I don't even think that'll last much longer. Her stomach's been bothering her for years, and she was even sent to the hospital due to stress-related stomach failure. So I always have to be near her to calm her down. Even the slightest mention of my father will get her stressed.
Serving her needs will teach you some very valuable lessons in the long run. Even in your moments of grief and pain, it tends to make a real difference when you are still willing to serve the needs of others, which would honestly help most anyone if they are willing to do the same.
I agree. Honestly, if these people were willing to open up, I'd be the first to give them some help. And yet in their minds, they're completely helpless. There's nothing we can do to help them, and we shouldn't even try. A mindset like that really worries me, especially when you consider that these people still have their whole lives ahead of them. People to meet, places to see, things to accomplish. Finding out that someone sees his or herself as nothing more but a hopeless waste of time is really upsetting.
I realize that the first instinct to help someone is by giving counsel and trying to fix the problem. But sometimes what a person wants most is just to vent, without anyone pushing aside their opinions. And occasionally they want a bit of an audience. They want a few people saying, "Poor baby," and instead people are trying to tell them, "No, you're wrong about life."
Well, personally, I always thought that the best way to go about this is with a simple one-on-one discussion where these people can just let out all their feelings to someone who's willing to listen. They could vent out all that depression and anger instead of just letting it bottle up inside them. Imagine how much their lives could change for the better if they did that. I mean, look at what you've accomplished doing the same thing.
Perhaps. I may have been able to help quite a few people with their personal issues, but I certainly haven't helped everyone as much as I would have liked.
Fair enough. I can understand why some people want to have this large group of people embracing them and telling them that everything will be alright. But the truth of the matter is that being upset for the rest of your life isn't going to solve anything. I've always had a mindset of keeping the past behind you and continuously moving forward, but maybe people like me are going about this wrong. Maybe giving practical advice to someone in a time of need is a bad idea. Doc, are we wrong to try and tell these people to keep moving forward? Should we just wrap our arms around them and cry along with them?
Cry? No. Ask questions, show concern, but don't push aside any of their thoughts and opinions. As you've probably noticed, most people don't start out using anger in their venting. But most anyone listening in keeps trying to say some form of, "No, your thoughts are wrong, you should listen to my solutions." And this usually causes the person we're trying to help to believe that we weren't taking their opinions seriously, and thus making their moods even worse.
Well, I'd certainly be willing to show concern and listen. As I said, I do that with my mother every day. I use comforting words, hugs, and other displays of affection. But do you think I should do the same with these other people? Do you think they'd be willing to accept it?
Depends on the situation. You should certainly show that you're willing to listen, but make sure it doesn't go beyond their comfort zone. Whenever someone is in a state of no one is really listening to me and I don't want to be helped, then you must also be patient with them. They need to be in a calmer state before a one-on-one discussion will merit good results.
Yeah, I can see your point. I know that being upset or being angry is not an easy thing to go through. And as with every person in extreme emotion, there are those that just want them to listen to reason and those that just want to hug it out with them. And while those intentions are good, I guess it's better to find a middle ground between the two extremes instead of trying to follow one of them. Either way, I do hope that this no one is listening to me mindset that most of these people have will blow over in the future. I want to help, I really do, but you're right. Sometimes you just can't help as much as you'd like to, which is a serious shame.
A rather harsh lesson, but an essential one in my opinion.
True. Doctor, just a question that popped into my mind while we were talking. Have you ever thought about becoming a real psychiatrist?
Thought about it, yes. I could become a clinical therapist with another couple years of college, though becoming a full psychiatrist would require quite a bit more than that. Going back to school would dominate my free time, though. Not sure when or even if I should take that step.
Well, if you wanted my thoughts, I would personally say go for it. I mean, you have a real talent for people, even when the metaphorical cameras aren't rolling. I almost feel that a talent like that would be wasted with a life of accounting. I mean, my father always had a dream of becoming a band manager, and he could have been really good at it. He had the skills, he had the smarts, he had the drive, but he decided to let it go, and now he's gone. I personally say take that step while you still have a chance. If you're worried about your YouTube channel, I'd personally drop everything to keep it alive for you, as I'm sure many analysts would, like they did when you went to BronyCon. Doc, you've got talent, and I personally think that you should take up this opportunity while it's still offering its hand to you. But honestly, that's not for me to decide. It's completely in your hands.
I appreciate the encouragement, Finn. Perhaps becoming a psychiatrist is a worthy goal I should pursue. But then, what if this is really what I should be doing? Being more of a good listener instead of an actual doctor. Focus my efforts on reaching out to people across the world instead of starting a career of meeting one person at a time in a small office somewhere.
Well, that's not for me to decide, Doc. Regardless of what you choose, you'll be helping others and inspiring people to do the same. There's no hiding from that. But what it all comes down to is scale. If you feel comfortable where you are, then by all means stay. But if you feel that you can make a living out of your ability to interact with others, I would say go while you still have a chance. But remember that no matter what you choose, the community will always be there to support you in any way we can.
I very much appreciate that, Finn, and to everyone else who has been supporting my efforts. We'll just have to wait and see what the future holds. Shall we continue on this next week?
Absolutely, Doc. Thanks for the help. It was more than worth the effort it took to get it. Not sure where you'll go from here, but if you feel it's right, we'll always have your back. Take care, Doctor.
And you as well, Finn. It's good to be helping.